Hey everyone, right now someone is watching your every move, analyzing your choices, waiting for you to stumble. But it's not who you think it is. It's you. You've become your own worst enemy, constantly performing for an audience that doesn't even exist. We post, we speak, we react, we explain ourselves to strangers on the internet who wouldn't cross the street to help us. And in this endless noise, we've lost the one thing that actually matters: ourselves. The ancient Stoics practiced attention to the present and care of the self in complete silence. Marcus Aurelius chose a private journal. Seneca practiced voluntary poverty and silence. Epictetus built his philosophy around controlling what you can. In this video, 7 Stoic rules to master yourself and embrace silence, rebuild your life. I'm revealing 7 ancient rules that will teach you to focus on your own growth so other people's opinions become background noise. When you master these principles, you won't just change how others see you. You'll become someone even you didn't know you could be. But here's the catch. Most people will watch this video, nod along, and then go right back to seeking validation on social media. The difference between them and you is simple. Are you ready to actually implement what you learned today? If yes, prove it right now. Type Y, choose silence in the comments. This is your commitment to yourself. Number 1. Silence the morning chaos. Every single morning, within minutes of opening your eyes, you make a choice that will determine whether you own your day or your day owns you. You probably don't even realize you're making this choice. You reach for your phone. You check the notifications. You absorb someone else's problems, someone else's highlight reel, someone else's emergency that somehow becomes your mental burden. And just like that, before you've even had your first cup of coffee, you've fed the monster. This monster is the endless noise of other people's opinions, judgments, expectations, and emotional chaos. It lives on your attention, grows stronger with your reactions. Right now, it's probably running your life. Epictetus understood 2,000 years ago that wealth consists in having few wants. He was talking about mental wealth, about being selective with what gets access to your mind. The Stoics guarded their thoughts like their most precious possession because your thoughts create your reality. Here's your action plan to silence the morning chaos. Starting today, create a sacred morning hour. The first 60 minutes after you wake up belong to you and you alone. No phone, no news, no other people's energy. Just your thoughts, your intentions, your peace. This is necessity. It allows you to begin each day with a clear and focused mind. When someone offers unsolicited advice, let it pass right through you. Smile, nod, and let it go. Stop explaining your choices to people who don't support your life. When you silence the morning chaos, something magical happens. You start hearing your own voice again. You remember what you actually want versus what everyone thinks you should want. Your own thoughts become more interesting than anyone else's drama. Right now, identify one source of morning chaos in your life. Cut it off today. Notice how much mental space that creates for your growth, your peace, your authentic life. By applying this first rule, you create the foundation for the 6 rules that follow. Each one will help you master yourself and embrace silence to rebuild your life. Number 2. Act as if no one is watching. Right now, there is an invisible audience living inside your head. They sit in judgment of every decision you make, every risk you consider, and every authentic impulse you have. The shocking truth is that most of these judges don't even exist. You know that moment when you're about to do something bold, start that project, change your style, speak your truth, and you suddenly freeze, not because you lack ability, but because of the weight of imaginary eyes waiting for you to fail. You've been living your life like you're the main character in everyone else's story. But in reality, you're barely a background thought in most people's minds. Seneca taught that every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Yet most people never reach that new beginning, because they're terrified of ending the exhausting performance they've been giving for others. The Stoics called this authentic action, making decisions from your true nature instead of fear of judgment. Here's the deeper truth. The person watching you most critically isn't others. It's you. You've become your own harshest critic, your own biggest obstacle. You've internalized so many voices and expectations that you can no longer tell your real desires from borrowed fears. To break free, start with a simple reality check. When that inner voice says, "What will people think?" pause and ask, which specific people, and why does their opinion matter more than my own authentic expression? Most of the time, you won't even be able to name them. Next, use the authentic action test. Before any decision, ask yourself, am I doing this from my own center, or am I trying to manage someone else's reaction? If it's the second, course correct immediately. Begin small to build courage. Take that class you've been thinking about for months. Wear the outfit that makes you feel confident, even if it's different. Speak up in the meeting, instead of staying quiet. Each authentic step strengthens your courage for bigger moves. Here's the beautiful paradox. When you start acting as if no one is watching, people actually begin to notice you, but for the right reasons. Authenticity is magnetic. When others see someone living from their center without constantly checking for approval, it gives them permission to do the same. You become not just free, but a quiet source of freedom for those around you. Yes, some people may still comment on your choices. That discomfort is their issue to handle, not yours to fix. You are not responsible for managing other people's reactions to your life. The most tragic thing would be reaching the end of your days and realizing you performed for an audience that was never really paying attention. If you're ready to stop living for invisible judges and start living from your authentic center, type in the comments right now, "I act from my center." This is your declaration of independence from the prison of other people's expectations. This second rule builds directly on the first. Once you silence the morning chaos, you gain the clarity to act with true authenticity. Together they create a strong foundation for mastering yourself and embracing silence, so you can rebuild your life with confidence and purpose. Number 3. Treat your energy like it's expensive. Your energy is the most valuable currency you possess, yet right now you're probably giving it away for free to people and things that would never invest the same in you. Every morning you wake up with a finite amount of mental, emotional, and physical energy. Imagine starting the day with exactly $100 in your pocket. The question is, how are you spending it? Are you investing it in people and activities that return value? Or are you letting it drain away on things that leave you feeling empty? Take a quick inventory. How much of your energy goes to worrying about problems you can't solve? To people who constantly take but never give back? To scrolling through content that makes you feel inadequate? To conversations that go nowhere and drama that isn't yours to carry? Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He understood that spreading your energy across time, space, and other people's problems dilutes your power in the moment. The Stoics knew that energy management is life management. When you treat your energy as finite and precious, every decision becomes intentional. Keeping your energy expensive doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It means being strategic. When you stop showing up halfway for everything, you can show up fully for what truly matters. Start with the clean no, not the long apologetic explanation most people give, but a clear boundary. No, I can't take that on right now. No, I won't be able to make it. Period. No justification needed. Use 3 powerful filters before committing your energy. First, will this add genuine value to my life or to the lives of people I care about? If the answer isn't a clear yes, it's a no. Second, am I doing this from fear, guilt, or obligation, or from genuine interest and alignment? Third, is this the best use of my energy right now, or am I just filling time? When you keep your energy expensive, people start treating it with more respect. Your availability becomes valuable because you're not always available. Your opinion carries more weight because you don't engage with every piece of drama. Your support becomes more impactful because you choose your moments carefully. Your friends and family receive the best version of you because you haven't given away all your best energy to distractions and energy-draining situations. True generosity requires wisdom. You cannot serve from an empty cup. Right now, identify one area where you've been giving your energy away too cheaply. That endless group chat, that person who only calls to complain, that habit of scrolling when you already feel low. Cut it off today and redirect that energy towards something that serves your growth. If you're ready to start treating your energy as the precious resource it is, type in the comments, "My energy is valuable, and I invest it wisely." This simple act is your commitment to becoming the deliberate manager of your own life force. This third rule builds on the first 2. Once you silence the morning chaos and begin acting from your authentic center, protecting your energy becomes natural. Together, these 3 rules give you the clarity, freedom, and power needed to master yourself and embrace silence, while rebuilding your life with intention and strength. Number 4, break free from your echo chamber. Right now, without realizing it, you're living inside a comfortable bubble. This bubble runs deeper than politics or opinions. It includes the friends who always validate your complaints without challenging you to grow, the algorithm that feeds you content designed to confirm what you already believe, and the daily routine that feels safe but keeps you stuck. The terrifying part is that most people never notice their bubble until they've made major life decisions based on incomplete information or missed incredible opportunities because they only listened to voices that sounded exactly like their own. Socrates, considered the wisest man in Athens, built his entire philosophy around one idea: the only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. While everyone else walked around certain they had all the answers, he was brave enough to admit he might be wrong. That intellectual humility made him wiser than the rest. Your echo chamber does the opposite. It makes you feel smart while keeping you limited. If everyone in your circle agrees with everything you say, either the people around you don't feel safe being honest, or you've unconsciously chosen people who will never push you to become better than you are today. Comfort is the silent enemy of growth. When everyone around you thinks the same, acts the same, and wants the same things, you stop evolving. You simply become a more polished version of who you already were, instead of discovering who you could become. Breaking free from your echo chamber doesn't mean starting arguments with strangers online. Real growth comes from intentionally exposing yourself to thoughtful perspectives that make you think, not just feel validated. It means reading books by authors who see the world differently, listening to voices that challenge your assumptions in good faith, and seeking guidance from people who have already achieved what you want. Examine your current mental diet. What books are you reading? What conversations are you having? What advice are you taking? If everything confirms what you already believe, you're not learning, you're just reinforcing old patterns. The most successful individuals didn't reach their level by surrounding themselves only with people who thought exactly like them. They actively placed themselves in rooms where they were the least experienced person. They sought mentors who stretched their thinking and asked questions that forced them to grow. This also means quieting the familiar limiting voices inside your own head, the ones that say you can't do that because you've never done it before, or play it safe like you always have. Replace those old scripts with better questions. What would someone who has already achieved this do? What would I attempt if I knew I couldn't fail? What opportunities am I missing because I'm looking through the same old lens? When you break free from your echo chamber, you become more resilient. Your ideas can handle being questioned. When they can't, you learn to improve them. You develop the ability to see problems from multiple angles and build bridges instead of walls. Right now, choose one source of intellectual comfort to challenge. Add a book by an author whose views differ from yours. Have a genuine conversation with someone from a different background. Question one long-held assumption you've never examined before. If you're committed to expanding your thinking and refusing to stay comfortable, type in the comments, "I break free from my echo chamber." This is your promise to seek truth over comfort. This fourth rule strengthens the foundation built by the first three. With a quiet morning, authentic action, and protected energy, you now have the clarity and strength to invite new perspectives that will accelerate your growth as you master yourself and embrace silence to rebuild your life. Number 5. Observe instead of reacting. Picture this: someone says something that instantly bothers you. Within seconds, your fingers are typing a reply, or your mouth is already responding. Minutes or hours later, you realize your reaction only made the situation worse. We have become addicted to reacting. We react to notifications, news, other people's moods, traffic, comments, and even things that happened years ago. Our lives have turned into one long chain of emotional reactions instead of intentional choices. The Stoics understood something powerful that we've forgotten. Between every stimulus and your response there is a small space. In that space lies your freedom and your power to choose. Epictetus, who knew suffering better than most, taught that it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it. Watching instead of reacting does not mean being passive or emotionless. It means creating a deliberate pause so your wisdom can speak, instead of your wounds. Your immediate emotional surge is valuable information, but it should never become your instruction. Think about your last strong reaction. Your first instinct was probably to defend yourself, correct the other person, or make them understand your side. But what if you had simply observed first? You would have noticed that the intensity of your reaction had more to do with what was already happening inside you than with what was actually said. Maybe you were already stressed, already insecure about that topic, or already carrying frustration from something else. Their words were just the spark that lit a fire already prepared. When you learn to watch, you begin to see your own patterns clearly. You get defensive whenever someone questions your choices. You feel misunderstood and immediately try to explain yourself, yet that explanation rarely makes you feel more understood. Your reactions often create the very outcomes you want to avoid. The beauty of watching is that it gives you options. When you react, You have only one path, whatever your emotions demand in that moment. When you watch, you can ask better questions. What outcome do I actually want here? Will this response move me closer to that outcome or further away? Is this worth my limited energy? In practice, this looks like pausing before you send that text, taking 3 slow breaths before answering criticism, or simply noticing the emotion in your body without immediately acting on it. Treat your inner experience with curiosity, the same way you would watch an interesting documentary. When you feel triggered, instead of judging yourself, simply note, interesting, I'm having a strong reaction right now. What is this really about? The people who appear unshakable are not those who never feel strong emotions. They are the ones who have learned to observe their emotions without being controlled by them. They feel the anger, the frustration, or the hurt, but they do not let those feelings make their decisions for them. As you practice this rule, other people's chaos stops becoming your chaos. Their urgency does not become your emergency. Their bad mood does not ruin your peace. You become steady, like a mountain that is aware of the weather but remains unmoved by every storm. Right now, the next time you feel that familiar surge of annoyance, anger, or even excitement, pause and watch it. Notice where it lives in your body. Observe your thoughts without acting on them. Then, from that place of awareness, choose your response. If you're ready to respond from wisdom instead of reacting from wounds, type in the comments, I choose to observe before I react. This small act strengthens your inner calm. This 5th rule builds naturally on the previous 4. With a quiet morning, authentic action, protected energy, and open thinking, you now have the space and clarity to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. These 5 rules together create powerful momentum as you master yourself and embrace silence to rebuild your life. Number 6. Stop chasing clout. One of the most dangerous addictions of our time is not something you inject or swallow. It is the constant refreshing, scrolling, and measuring of your worth in likes, comments, and shares. Clout gives the illusion of accomplishment without requiring any real achievement. Right now, many people spend more time crafting the perfect post about their goals than actually working toward them. They build personal brands instead of building real skills. They create content about their life instead of living it fully. The saddest part is they often don't even realize they have traded the real thing for the performance of the thing. Clout is seductive because it delivers quick validation without the hard work. You post a picture of your workout and feel fit. You share a motivational quote and feel wise. You document your morning routine and feel disciplined. But feeling like you're progressing and actually progressing are 2 completely different realities. Seneca warned long ago that it is shameful to grow weary in the search for excellence while being more focused on appearing excellent than becoming excellent. When your energy goes into looking successful rather than becoming successful, you have lost the true path. The game of clout is rigged from the start. Platforms decide what gets seen. Algorithms decide what gets rewarded. Crowds decide what gets celebrated. You hand your sense of self-worth to systems and people who know nothing about your real goals or values. When you chase clout, your decisions slowly shift. You choose activities that photograph well instead of ones that actually serve your growth. You take on projects that sound impressive in a bio rather than ones that develop deep competence. You share struggles that make you look relatable instead of working through the struggles that would truly transform you. The liberating truth is that the most valuable moments in life are often the undocumented ones. The book you read in silence still expands your mind. The skill you practiced without posting still builds real ability. The quiet progress you make when no one is watching still counts completely. Turning your back on clout means reclaiming your own scoreboard. Measure success by how you feel when your head touches the pillow each night, not by how many people liked your post that day. Build skills that matter to you, relationships that fulfill you, and experiences that change you, whether or not anyone else ever knows about them. This does not mean you can never share your journey. It means the work comes first and sharing comes second. You build something real in private and only occasionally let others see it when it genuinely adds value. Some of the most accomplished people you may never hear about made this choice early. They spent their time creating instead of curating, learning instead of broadcasting, and growing instead of performing. They made their mistakes in private, celebrated their wins in private, and only stepped into the public eye when they had something truly worthwhile to offer. When you stop chasing clout, you discover something powerful. You become more interesting when you are not trying to seem interesting. You become more confident when you are not seeking confidence from strangers. The energy you once used to manage your image can now fuel actual growth. Right now, look at one area of your life where you have been chasing clout instead of real substance: your fitness, your work, your learning, or your relationships. Ask yourself honestly, what would I do differently if no one could ever see it? What goals would I pursue if posting was not an option? Then do exactly that. Build in silence.
Let your results speak louder than any post ever could. If you are ready to focus on becoming instead of appearing, type in the comments, "I build in silence." This is your commitment to real progress over performance. This sixth rule rests on the strength of the first five. With a calm mind, authentic action, protected energy, open thinking, and thoughtful responses, you now have everything you need to create meaningful change away from the spotlight as you master yourself and embrace silence to rebuild your life.
Number 7. Protect your comeback story. While you have been focused on other people's opinions, distracted by constant noise, and chasing quick validation, life has been quietly preparing you for something bigger. The setbacks you are facing right now, the challenges you are navigating, and the quiet moments when no one is watching are all important chapters in your personal comeback story. Here is the key. You cannot write a powerful comeback if you keep giving away the plot to everyone. You cannot build something extraordinary while broadcasting every single step. And you definitely cannot surprise the world with your transformation if you document the entire process in real time. Your comeback story is not just about bouncing back from failure. It is about the version of yourself you are becoming when the world is not paying attention. It is about the skills you develop in private, the character you build in silence, and the dreams you nurture away from the pressure of expectations. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He wrote some of the most profound thoughts in history inside a private journal never meant for others to read. He reminded himself, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. The most important work always happens away from any audience, in the moments when you are accountable only to yourself. Right now you have a rare opportunity that most people waste. While everyone else is busy performing their lives online, you can actually be building a life worth living. While others chase the appearance of growth, you can experience real growth. Protecting your comeback story means guarding the sacred space where your true transformation occurs. It means not sharing every new insight, not posting every small win, and not seeking approval for every change you make. This is quiet, meaningful work. The late nights spent learning new skills, The early mornings dedicated to building discipline. The moments when you choose growth over comfort. These are not content for social media. They are the foundation of who you are becoming. Protecting your story also conserves your energy. Every time you announce your goals, your brain receives a small reward as if you had already achieved them, which often reduces your motivation to finish. Every time you explain your process to others, you lose some of the drive to continue the process. When you seek constant validation, you train yourself to depend on external approval instead of internal strength. Think about the most impressive transformations you have ever witnessed. The person who quietly lost significant weight. The friend who learned a new language without telling anyone. The colleague who turned a small idea into a successful business. In almost every case, they worked in relative silence and then simply showed up as the new version of themselves. This does not mean becoming secretive or dishonest. It means becoming wisely selective. Share your journey only with people who are truly invested in your success. Discuss your goals with mentors who can actually help you reach them. Keep the private work private until it is ready to speak for itself. Your comeback story is being written in this very moment through the choices you make after watching this video. Will you continue performing for the crowd, or will you start building for your future? The most powerful comebacks happen when people least expect them, when you have been working quietly, growing steadily, and preparing in silence while the world thought you were standing still. When the time is right, your results will speak louder than any post ever could. Your transformation will inspire others, not because you announced it, but because they can see the real difference in who you have become. If you are ready to stop giving away your story and start writing it with dedication in silence, type in the comments, "I protect my comeback story." You now have all 7 rules. When you put them into practice, silencing the morning chaos, acting with authenticity, protecting your energy, breaking free from echo chambers, observing before reacting, building without chasing clout, and guarding your private growth, you master yourself and truly embrace silence. You rebuild your life from the inside out with unshakable strength and quiet confidence. If this message reached you and you feel ready to begin, hit the like button as a personal commitment to your own growth. Share this video with one person who needs to hear these ideas today. And if you want more practical Stoic wisdom to keep building this new life, consider subscribing to Stoic Origin. Together, we are creating a space for real, lasting transformation away from the noise. Your journey toward a stronger, calmer, more focused version of yourself starts right now. Take the first small step today. You've got this.